have an amazing show today. I've known this woman probably for about 10 to 12, 13 years. She's been doing amazing things in Baltimore. And when I finally got a hold of her, she was like, let's do the episode. And then we had push it back. We push it back. But ultimately, good things come to those who wait. And I'm so excited for the next voice you hear is one of the Baltimore legends. I call her the P. Diddy of Baltimore City. And when we get back, you'll be hearing from Miss Heidi after these messages.
The No Picks After Dark podcast is fueled by Zeke's Coffee. Have you tried their coffee yet? I'm telling you, there's something different about it. Maybe it's because they roast their beans in a fluid coffee roaster, which provides the most accurate roasting temperatures and made with love. You would just have to check it out for yourself and try their delicious food while you're at it. Open now for curbside service, online ordering, carry out, and they also do wholesale. Visit Zeke's Coffee at 4719 Hartford Road. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, 8 to 5 p.m. Kitchen closes at 3 p.m. or visit Zeke'sCoffee.com and you too can be fueled by Zeke's.
Welcome to the No Picks After Dark podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Dante. We have an amazing show for you folks. I'm so excited to have this person on. She's like P. Diddy of Baltimore City. When I came back to Baltimore, everybody was like, she's the party person. She's the person to know. If you need to go to a restaurant, you need to go somewhere, you need to talk to her. And I mean, she has been doing things longevity. And it's an industry that we're all in. She still keeps reinventing herself and doing amazing things. Without further ado, Miss Heidi Klotzman, how are you doing? What's up?
I'm okay. Just got off the tail end of COVID and not the pandemic, but the actual illness, personally. And I'm just grateful to be here.
I'm so happy.
I'm grateful to be with you. I mean, you're such a great personality and you bring all kinds of cool people on and talk about interesting topics. And it's great for the city, as you know, and you've come out of your shell. Not that you were ever totally in one, but, you know, as time goes on, you can tell how comfortable you are in your skin and you put other people at ease. So it's a pleasure to be with you.
Hey, I appreciate you. I mean, I feel like I want your autograph after this episode. You know, you
Oh, you're so funny.
But I mean, and really, you've done so many amazing things. But let's get right into it. I mean, tell people a little bit about you. Let's talk a little bit about you. You know, are you from Baltimore originally? What's the name of your business? Like, then we'll get a little bit more deeper into it. So this is your show. I always tell people this is your show.
If it's my show, I'm gonna interview you. That would be far more interesting. Can we do that sometime?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do a reversal. That would be super cool.
I would love that.
So yes, I'm from Baltimore area. I've lived in a bunch of areas throughout the Baltimore area. I grew up in, I guess, Baltimore County. Hey, you guys shout out Baltimore County. Hunt Valley, and then Phoenix, and now I'm in Pikesville. I'm always kind of like riding the city line. I like to have a little peace and quiet because my brain is very active, and it's nice to have a balance and then be able to hop right onto onto 695 83 and be able to get downtown really quick.
Nice. So
but yeah, I'm from here, and I'm so proud to be from here. There's so much history and culture, and it's a complex melting pot of positives, negatives, neutrals. Baltimore is not. I mean, to me, it's. Yeah, it's a very deep thing to be from here, because you're always having to rationalize or justify things from people who ask you when you're out of town or that are visiting. Is this like this? Is that like this show? Is this like, and I mean, there's so many dimensions, and even neighborhoods. It's like a whole new world in different neighborhoods. So
You hit it on the head. You definitely hit it. So growing up in Baltimore, what was your favorite childhood memory growing up?
Ignore the sniffling. Let's see. My favorite memory growing up, I think it would have to be going to my dad's concerts. He promoted shows, and as a kid, I would go and get to be backstage and stuff, and that was fun, and take friends. And it was just the most exciting thing in the world to me. I mean, it was just like the Super Bowl, for sports fanatics. Like every time that I would go to one of these shows and get to experience these different artists, and it wasn't because like, ooh, celebrity. It was more just like just being at the heart and the hub of a production, not because I had anything to do with it, but I just kind of got injected into it, via him. So that would be one of the favorite memories of childhood, along with the simple things like sleepovers and reading R.L. Stein, and just fun dancing to the jukebox. Like I used to dance with friends, we had a jukebox room.
Nice.
And we used to dance to songs from the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. And I would just mentally escape and kind of put myself in those decades, and we would have the best time. So I miss that, because back then, I just had no idea what was to come. Like I didn't anticipate the challenges and the struggles and different things that would unravel. And luckily I didn't, because I wouldn't have been having such a good time if I knew what was coming. Not that it's so bad, but it's just so different than what you expect as a kid to be an adult.
Do you think seeing what your dad was doing when you were growing up basically kind of helped propel you to what you started and what you were doing when in Baltimore? Do you think that was like a huge influence for you?
Yeah, he was definitely, and still is in a way, a huge influence when it comes to galvanizing around talent. I loved being a part of it. I didn't necessarily aspire to concert level kind of experience. Who knows? But I liked more intimate settings and less risk, less pressure, and there's still a lot of that, even in smaller settings. But I enjoy leisure and time with friends and writing and reading and just having a whole private life, even though it seems so public. And he didn't have that. He was 24/7 working. And I am a workaholic to an extent, but not on that high of a level, which is fine with me. But yeah, he was definitely an influence, but I do things I think a lot differently.
So when did you realize, what was your first job out of college? What was your first job? What was your first gig?
This.
Okay. Oh, so you've been an entrepreneur day one.
Yep.
Wow.
I worked at Spencer's in 10th grade.
Okay. Okay. Everybody was working at
Spencer's is such a trip. I just remember like the motion lotion aisle and like the whole black light thing, and like it was an experience, man.
Yeah, that's the mall. That was the mall. The mall. What's funny? I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, I missed the mall. I missed the front. Yeah, that was a gym. You had your pager, hit me on the hip, and you have an
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you can meet guys there. You can make friends there. You give out your number. Like it was a whole different situation back in the day.
That was a jam. I used to hang out at the food court. That was my thing. The food court.
Oh yeah, Panda Express was my thing.
Right. So everybody was in to get food. It was always that Friday night jump off. So you go there, hang out, and then you go from there. And so that's what I miss about back in the day. That was always something to me. But so you've been an entrepreneur. I love talking to entrepreneurs because it's either somebody has taught you, you were born into it, you've seen aunts, uncles, you've seen a lot of people do that. When you were like, I'm starting my own gig, did you say you always knew it from seeing your dad or seeing your mom, or was there somebody in the family or like you can do what you want to do, or was it you just saying, hey, I'm gonna do my own thing, I don't want to work for nobody else?
I just put like one foot in front of the other. Like I was worried all throughout college at Goucher, like what am I gonna do? Because I was a poet and I wasn't gonna major in poetry, and I was a psych major and I loved that, but then that would take you to the GREs and that would take you to this whole nother level of education and science. And I don't know. I think what happened, it happened like kind of by accident. I was just promoting nightlife at Club One back in the day, like the 4 levels: fire, earth, air, and water. So it was such a cool spot. It was swanky. Yeah, it was swanky. And that's my style. Like I love like upscale environment, down to earth people, So it was perfect. I was just promoting it to a bunch of friends and friends of friends and students, etc. And that just took off. But yeah, I wasn't really taught how to be. I mean, when I watched my dad, I just watched him, in the moment after everything was done, like at the show. I wasn't really sitting in the office and like taking notes. Like I absorbed some of his personality and maneuvering, I'm sure, and hopefully learned from some of his mistakes. Probably not all of them, but a good amount of them. And yeah, I did see him always working for himself, and my mom for the majority of her life working for herself. So that was the norm in my eyes. So I didn't really understand the 9 to 5 kind of lifestyle. I respect it and I admire it beyond belief now more than ever.
Wow.
Because I understand the discipline and the sacrifice and the focus that takes. So yeah.
Wow. That I just learned that today, folks. She's dropping jewels and gems already. Like
Yeah.
I'm like blown away. Like I didn't know you were already promoting, you were doing that. And like when you started promoting like the Club One, when did you realize like I can do this? Like when did you realize like I got
in middle school?
Really?
Yeah, because I threw this like famous bat mitzvah.
Okay.
When I was 13, and we picked out Miss Tony, rest in peace, Reggie Reg, rest in peace, Scotty B, and DJ Booby.
Oh, DJ
yes,
okay.
yes,
Okay.
still my friend. Yeah.
All
So
right.
these like amazing like Baltimore club music legends were just geeking out, at the place where I lived in Phoenix at the time, and it was so much fun, and it was like such a diverse like group of people, which was super important to me, because cliques were separated by like race and class and all kinds of stuff, at school and around town. So it was really refreshing and fun for me to be able to bring all these folks from different boxes and throw them into, this new box that they were all in, and it was super fun. So that was like the beginning of kind of a promotion or a gathering, and of course I knew I was good at it because I was always good at making friends and hosting small things, big things, and then it got even more apparent in 1998 when I hosted a VH1 Save the Music event.
Oh wow!
At our home again, and that was well, the VH1 Save the Music Foundation had a branch here, a chapter, but they had no donations yet. So I was like, word! I was like, I can throw a concert. So I threw, like a mini concert. There was 200 guests. They were all friends, again, like friends of friends, private school, public school, all different backgrounds, religions, and everything else. Because that was as important to me as what was on stage. So then I have 4 groups. Naeem from Gilman, which was Spank Rock, and now back to Naeem Jawan. And Easy was there. He was at Baltimore School for the Arts back then, and he was there as trying to remember their name. It was Easy Jackson, of course, and then some other folks from BSA. I'm blanking on the name, but they were just ridiculous, of course. And then there was this rock group, and then another rap group, like a rap group from the county. This like super dope white MC that is still one of the most amazing freestylers I've ever known. And a dear friend of mine, Ryan McDowell. It goes as Regulus and Gods or whatever. So that was like 20 years ago, and I kind of instinctually knew these people were going to go. These people were talented, and Naeem, catapulted into his awesome trailblazing, like move around the globe, not easy to peg style of music. And, Easy is like the mayor of Baltimore hip hop. And the rock group, I'm not exactly sure what happened. God bless them.
God bless them.
And yeah, I just had to kind of throw them in there to spice up the genres. And then Ryan is doing really well too, with his rapping is more underground and such. So everyone is like in the scene, and I was really happy that platform propelled them. So it was like $5 a head. And I guess that was only 1,000, but it was 1,000 more than what they had for VH1. And my dad had said to me before, he was like, "Do you want me to just give money to the charity, like, and just not have this thing?" And in hindsight, maybe that would have been better for the charity, because we would have gotten a lot more. However, I felt the experience was just as important too, of all these different people coming together, of these like different and interesting talents coming together on stage, raising the money like communally together from the source of the kids versus, just some dad or whatever throwing a check.
Right. I love that story. Again, you're just dropping jewels, gems. It's nothing but amazing stories you're telling right now.
You're so sweet. No, you know who drops gems? I love to watch Dame Dash talk. Oh my God.
Oh, we could talk all day on that. We could talk.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you saw the new episode with him and Sterling with Shannon Sharp on it.
Yes, I did. I will not miss one with him.
Oh. That was some real talk on that. That was some real talk. So, like, going through this whole process of that, and we're getting to that you're an acclaimed author. Also, we're gonna talk about your author skills. We're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna get to it because we could do a 2-hour show here, but we could. Matter of fact, we need to do a live show and have a talk about this. Well, that's a whole different day.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit, and then half of that will be me interviewing you.
That'd be dope. That'd be really dope. And so I remember my fondest memory was shout out to Yasha.
Yes, y'all.
Yes. She was like, "Yo, my girl Heidi, she know everybody." And I remember the first time I met you, you were so kind, so gentle, and just very sweet. You were like, "What do you need?" All right, cool. Nice meeting you. And like, you really made me feel comfortable because you used to have things all around the city. And you always, even if you didn't remember my name or whoever, you're like, "How you doing? Good to see you again." And with just that personal feel that your parties, soirees, wherever you were, I enjoyed them. And
I'm so glad. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I wanted to give you the flowers because a lot of these young people don't know who is really the originals around here. There's some people.
Oh, God bless you. I know everyone's like, "So these are the original influencers," and I'm like, I think the original influencers in Baltimore were the club promoters.
Right.
Yeah, because like before everything was digital, it was, all person to person, like flyer to flyer, like, friendship to friendship. And you really had to like build relationships, and yeah, I mean, now it's a different ballgame, and I love content creators. I love influencers. It just like, definitely, I do believe like Jason Bass, myself and Marcy Crump and Sanjay and David Kauser and, Lana Ray. I mean, all these folks that have been, throwing stuff forever. Zekwe as well, so many great folks. Like, we had to know everyone, in the city that was moving, that was shaking. And if the ones that we didn't know already, we would meet, at our events, at other people's events. So by the time digital media, advanced, and IG and all that stuff, we already had this built-in crowd and following. It may be 10,000 versus 150,000, but we know all those people. Like, we literally know thousands and thousands of people. And they know us, and we know things about them, and they know things about us, and there's a common denominator. And so I think that's like a deeper bond than a lot of the, "Oh, I like your shoes, I'll follow you." Like,
no, you're right. Y'all were pre-digital. So you had to grind. It was a street team. You're out there.
Yeah, Friendster, MySpace.
You're doing everything, trying to get the name out
there.
I think that's a lot harder because you had to grind, and that work, when it paid off, it paid off. I remember every party you had was always packed. this is 2000. When I was going like 2005, 2006, 2007,
Yeah.
2008. And
yeah, because we were a lot younger then, and all we wanted to do was be out.
Right.
And be social. I do it a different way now. It's a little more like, spaced out, because people are more into special occasions than like raging every night or raging every weekend, which is fine with me. But yeah, back then a lot was packed. There were some, maybe you're being real nice, but there were some that were empty as a mother. And I was in the corner drinking a bottle by myself, like crying myself to sleep. But
you win some, you lose some, and I always think about, again, everything I remember you guys doing, everybody in the city they were doing amazing things. And I remember just, how did it feel to be one of the only few women in that lane back in 2000s? Like, because I don't remember. I know, what's my Marcy, is her name Marcy from Flywire?
Yes, Marcy from Flywire, Lana Ray,
Ron
and
Ray,
all her like model talent, and Sanjay to care,
Sanjay
productions.
So how was like there's only few females doing it? Like, how did you feel?
There were other women. There were like a lot of women. They just didn't get as much shine from media.
Right.
They were Black women. They were women of color, and they were not as. I think that I just had an advantage also, like for being a white chick. I probably got press easier. Probably got a lot of stuff easier. It's still harder for me than it would be, I guess, if I were a dude. But there's levels, to privilege.
It is.
But yes, but being one of the only chicks that were throwing like big things back then, it was a colorful pot. It was really difficult. It was really fun. It was heartbreaking at times when deals would go sour, or a place would close, or a place would just try to yank your following and kick you out, which happens a lot. They don't really succeed too well because everyone's saying, so are we going here? And we're like, you can go there, but I don't go there anymore.
Right.
But not to be like super hectic about it. Now I don't really take a lot of it seriously. I'm just like, whatever, stuff happens, and I just kind of shrug it off. But back then, as you're growing up and you're all ego, you take everything personally, and it's tough. But there was a lot of highlights and a lot of fun and flirting and celebration, birthdays, and launches. So I do miss some of it, but the actual every Friday at Maple or every Saturday here or whatever, I don't miss that because I love solitude.
I love it. It's funny, when I've been doing a lot of live shows, and people are like, how are you getting those crowds? How are you getting people here? And I said, I found the secret now. I said, my crowds are from 6 to 9 o'clock, 6 to 10, because we're all getting older.
Yeah.
And they all might have kids, and they're like, listen, we can get it in from 6 to 10.
We can get it in, yeah.
After that, I'm in the bed by 10:30. You may, but and I've been getting and having family friendly events, and because everybody has kids, they want to bring their kids today, and I can't find a sitter. And
that's how it evolves. Some folks didn't really evolve, which is just natural. But I just naturally evolved, like from nightlife into promoting restaurants and concepts at restaurants and festivals and charitable functions, fashion shows, live music. A whole array of different concepts. And as you get older, yes, like priorities change, and it wasn't tricky to navigate because I'm getting older with them. And luckily I look a lot younger than I am.
Hey, listen, I thought
at least I'd like to think so.
You're in your 20s right now. Come on now.
I know, right? So I'm not super out of touch with a 25-year-old or a 22-year-old because I've been there.
The game hasn't changed at all. It's the same game. And and so I guess what that's 2 questions. What was probably your biggest achievement in that era of doing what you were doing? And second, what would you do differently?
Are we jamming? Do you hear the background?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's me.
That's
But
cool.
no. So,
I'm sorry.
No, you good. That was me. That was my bad.
That's okay. I liked it.
But my question is, what like as far as like, what was your number thing that you were like proud of, and then what thing would you tell somebody? I would never do this again. Like I would change it.
Uh, okay. Sorry about all the laughing. I'm just thinking about all the stuff I'm about to not say.
Yeah, Corey, you don't want to say it all. We don't
Oh no, absolutely not. Too smart now.
right.
I wasn't too smart. About that maybe in my 30s or my 20s, but it's just not necessary. But when it comes, but I can still answer the question honestly. What stuff do I feel like what made the most impact and I thought was the most special? I would say donating space and time and advertising to nonprofits that I believe in and care about. Like Casey Cares is amazing, Baltimore Humane Society, Living Classrooms, Cystic Fibrosis, yada yada yada. There's a million amazing nonprofits in Baltimore and around. But Rock and Soul Live Music Showcase, like with the up and coming singer songwriters, is really near and dear to my heart because I've always written and sang and played guitar later on in life, and I write well and I sing okay and I play guitar really badly. I always tell everyone. So it's like when you put it all together, it's like average. But I really admire and look up to people that excel in that, and not just excel like, oh, you're great at something, but like they really connect with an audience and that their lyrics and their soul and their sound comes through and soothes people or makes them think. Easy's a great example of that. There's so many other talented artists here. I'm lucky enough to book the DJs at Black Swan, to assist Sean in booking live music at Nick's Fish House. So, and Sagamore Spirit and a bunch of other places that I get to do that. Downtown Partnership as well. I assist there. So the talent, that's the most important part. The Rock and Soul Live Music Showcase is because you're bringing out, and all of them were free. So, but the artists eventually, got paid because in the beginning we were all sitting there like, you know what I mean? Like none of us were getting anything. But it went from like the basement of Melly in Fells, used to be Melly, to like Horseshoe Casino and Pier 5 Hotel Harbor Room, and we like toured the city with Rock and Soul Live Music showcase. And I'm not done with it. It's just, there's been a hiatus, obviously. But what was so great was, again, just like that VH1 Save the Music event, it's a variety show. They're artists from different backgrounds and genres, and they're all like singing their best of covers, best of originals, whatever they choose. And I'm inviting out an audience. They're inviting out audience, but I have like some built-in folks that come out, and some of these people are seeing these people for the first time, and they're loving them, and they're becoming fans, and maybe they're buying merch, and maybe they're buying or streaming, music, or going to future shows of them. Then we've had people get hired at museums and different places from attending that, so people get work, so it helps with income. And then you have artists that don't know each other that meet through these things, and they would collaborate and they become friends. And that, like, I took pride in that, because that's what made me feel like I had a purpose, and still makes me feel like I matter when I can contribute something positive to someone else's life, and just help them. I mean, I'm kind of like a channel to propel other people upwards.
I love it.
OpenWorks is Baltimore's largest makerspace, offering access to tools ranging from 3D printers to welder, and training in how to use them. OpenWorks also offers affordable studio space, a coffee shop, and fun-free events throughout the year. But OpenWorks is more than a public workshop. It's a community of creative professionals, students, seniors, entrepreneurs, and makers of all kinds. Check out the website at www.openworksbmore.org or Instagram at open_works_bmore for class schedules, membership options, and more.
I love it.
Rock and Soul is definitely the best. We got to bring it back, man.
Can we bring it back? Because I mean, I'm gonna do a shameless plug. I want to come and make a cameo on one of those shows. I mean, I don't sing, I don't dance.
You can host it.
I would love. I mean, again,
I had Easy host it at Horseshoe
that's
once. Yeah, and he was a trip. Have you had him on here?
I have not yet.
Okay, we're gonna get him on.
Yeah, we're working our way slowly but surely through Baltimore. Slowly but surely. So let's talk about the book. We gotta talk about the book. We gotta talk about you being.
Book. I'm like Charlemagne at the Breakfast Club. My book is like right where
get it out. Bring it out. Bring it out, please. Yeah. Come on. We gotta bring it out. We gotta bring it out.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Okay.
I'm so not coordinated. I have brain fog from COVID. This is the first one. It's a book of poetry. Circadian Rhythm. They're both on Amazon. Reflections of a Decade is the second one. That is a decade of Facebook statuses, like the best, the funniest and the deepest ones that I plucked out. And it's kind of like a book of quotes in succession chronologically. So yeah, I dig them both. I'm working on a third about my dad's life as a notorious concert promoter. So that's a unique journey in and of itself. I have a working rough draft, but
hey, you started. So did you find that passion to write a book? Because you talked about Goucher, you were a poet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always have that passion? And did you just have, like, I know some writers and authors who like, they write so much that they were like, let me just make a book of it. Let's do a book of it. Like, and you could put all your poems in one book. Like, did you do something like that? Like, because I'm sure you've written so much and like, you know, like, what do you have that where it's gonna be in one of your books possibly or something like that?
Well, I mean, I started writing poems, I think at around like 10 or 11.
Okay.
They got like super prolific around my parents' divorce. There's a lot of depression and anxiety that went along with that. So it was a good outlet back then. And then, yeah, it got super heavy in high school. That's probably the largest part. And then college. And it's kind of trickled off. I think those poems became Facebook statuses in a way. And now I think maybe the Facebook statuses have become my own private chatter or conversations one-on-one with people, or the occasional Instagram post where I really feel like I have something to say, but I don't really feel like I have as much to prove or like, I don't know, get crowdsourcing on something still, but not much anymore. And I don't have the energy to like be like, this is my political belief about this every day, or like, this is how I feel about religion, or this is how I feel, you know what I mean? Because it's just like such a waste.
It takes energy away from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a waste. I mean, God bless everyone else that has the energy to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But yeah,
I tell people every day I have a Twitter account, and I hate Twitter, but this guy Carl, who I know, he's working for the Player Tribune, and now he works for another agency. He has the best analogy. He's like, Twitter is like somebody in New York City yelling out their window. And
yeah.
Somebody
There's great stuff on there though.
Like, but I mean, you know what? I use Twitter for news, and that's it. Everything else,
yeah,
I have zero talent for.
I like some of the non-corny motivational quotes. Right. Like Biggs Burke,
yeah,
you know, is incredible. I mean, there's a lot of, other folks, like every single day, it's like something to motivate you without being like the perseverance card, you know. That's just not as appealing, you know, to me. I love the motivational stuff. What else is great on there? Yeah, some news stuff and analysis of news stuff from local personalities and international ones too.
So I have to ask you this question because we talked about the new age of social media and all that stuff. How do you feel about this whole analytics and algorithms? And
God,
Dame Dash said on that interview,
just kill me.
Algorithms are controlling people very much. That's how the world has worked. That's the new way. Like, how do you feel about all that right now? Just to think about how you used to promote, how you used to get your name out there, and it was no algorithm that was controlling you. It was you controlling your situation, getting the word out.
Yeah, it's a hot mess. Back then, it was harder, like you said, to promote things because you had to really gain in the street, in the flesh, momentum. But now it's harder too, because there's so much noise and there's so many options and there's 50,000 like event invites on, even just on Facebook. Come to this, come to that, come to this, come to that, come to this, and it's like, yeah, I mean, at least back then you had fewer options.
Mhm.
But as far as algorithms and like digital media stuff, like honestly, I I'm so over it. Um, I understand digital media, to an extent. If I really tried, I probably could curate things, like a lot of my influencer friends and such. I do get compensated to do different sponsored ads and such, just because I have a decent following, and engagement. So I'm an influencer to them in that way. But when it comes to, the fashion centric ones and the this, that, like they have like their niche or niche, and they own it and they live it, and it's hard work, scouting locations and outfits and angles and lighting and photography and mixing and matching brands. And it's not just that, but there's products or services. So I mean, I think it's weak when people try to downplay content creators, influencers, tastemakers, whatever, by saying, oh, they're just taking selfies. Like, no, actually, it is like a full-time job, to make photos, captions, to create a storyline around whatever you're trying to get across. And especially if you have to do it on a consistent basis, like that's ongoing and it's not stopping. And you have to edit. A lot of these videos are like super uber edited. And I'm kind of old school, and I just would prefer get a clip of this, get a clip of that, and like, but yes, I mean, there's a place for everything. I do think it goes really fast, and the technology changes like, faster than a lot of us would love. So, I mean, look, it's a huge pro and a huge con.
Right.
You have to. I mean, in my way, I take as much time off from it as I can, and I do exactly what I have to do,
I got
and
you.
then let it sit.
Okay. Let's go right back to your book real quick. What was the feedback from your friends and your friends and family? I saw you had like a book, a book
A
party.
launch in 2019, yeah, A Different Regard.
Right,
Love
right, right.
doing them.
How was that? Like, what was the
That
feedback?
was really fun.
Yeah,
It was really fun. A really good group of folks came out, friends and like colleagues and such, and they came out and I signed the books and they bought them. Mo was going around with the little,
love it,
like sign up or whatever it was.
love it.
And my mom, I know we're such a family type thing. But yeah, it was great. I mean, it was super like rewarding and just a good feeling to have people that you care about, that you love, that love you, come out and support something that you put your heart and your soul into. I prefaced it, by saying this is a lot of confessional poetry. It's a lot of self-absorption. This is like a child going from childhood to now, and really highlights again bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, divorce, rejection, loss, fear,
Mhm.
um, mistakes, but also romance and inspiration and creativity. So, I mean, it's multi-layered. And the second book, the Facebook status is I really dig because I've always loved quotes. Like I've always loved like books of quotes because like each one is like a nugget, and you're just like, ooh. But you only hear it for the first time once, obviously, and that's the time it's like the clinch, because it's like, whoa, you have that epiphany. Now, the next time you hear it, it'll still be cool, but it's not the first time. And like to have like a bunch of things, you know, one after the other, a bunch of these statuses be like the first time for someone else, maybe that didn't read them as they came out through me, and gather some kind of like laughter from it, or, oh, wow, I really identify with that. Or, damn, that's like kind of like that's deep or thought provoking. That's great. I like to make people feel less weird and less alone by opening up my box of weirdness.
Hey, it's not weird. It's just that's who you are. Don't be, it's not weird. It's not weird. It's cool. It's cool. I tell
No, I
people.
love weird.
I
I
love
love weird. I mean, it's good to own it. And what I mean by that is not, like bad. I just mean like not typical.
You're unique, different.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are unique, but I mean, like, there's the vast majority. It seems to be typical.
Got you. So you said something about inspiring. What inspires you every day? What inspires you? Like, what really gets you going?
Oh goodness, Vaughn Brooks.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know who he is. I'm waiting for you to listen,
Okay.
to preach.
It's more than him, but he's an example.
Okay.
There's people out there, like, I get down about some things and I beat myself up for past mistakes or whatever, current mistakes. And you start feeling sorry for yourself and like, oh, this didn't go my way, or like, I deserved this or this, that, and the other. And you can let it stop you from working out, from getting up, from going out, because most of your closet doesn't fit, like what happened to me after COVID. But there are people out there that are like super tenacious and persistent about getting up and doing their best every day, that have far less than you do per se, whether it be financially or opportunity wise, and sometimes don't have all their limbs, like, and there's people out there like working out religiously that can barely walk, and then I think to myself, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, like, get up. I mean, these are your heroes in a way, because it's like, if you have certain things that have been obstacles in your life and you can still go out there and do this, then the only thing that's stopping me from doing what I need to be doing is me.
Good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Wow. You got deep on me right there. I love it. I do like that, because we are fortunate. Other people aren't as fortunate, and we're getting by. So
It's all a comparison. Yeah, there's people more and there's people less and this, that, and the other. But what helps me definitely is reining in on gratitude and just being like, yeah, I mean, this may suck or this may have happened, but look at this. And it's definitely just all about what you're zeroed in on.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna do a quick speed round, because you dropped jewels, gems, diamonds. We ain't crush them. It's because we're gonna do a part 2 of this, folks.
I'd love that.
It's gonna be live. We're gonna find a venue.
And I'll write the questions for me. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
And we're gonna do it live, because this has been a dope conversation. And
Where was that one we talked about what would you tell yourself?
Oh, look at you listening to the episodes. Oh, that's
yeah. Like, what advice would you give, or what was the best advice you got? Right?
Yeah. If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Like, I would say to shut up. That's like one of the best things that I should have listened to in, not all the time, but more. Because listening, you gain so much. Also, to think before you take action. Like, and I don't mean for a second, I mean really think through how every scenario can go before you make that call, before you burn that bridge, before et cetera, et cetera. And secondly, don't take everything so personally into heart and care so much what people think, because like I've riddled in my mind a zillion times, like something about how I look or what I said or what I did or what I didn't do, or something where I felt misunderstood, and it would just ruminate, like, and now honestly, like, I still have issues with that, but it's a lot better just as you get older. Again, like, you shed
Right.
stuff.
You're right. And that's how I feel. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like, okay.
I can't get time. I can't get time back. I can't get it back.
Okay, so, speed round. My bad.
Speed round. Ready? Brunch or dinner?
Definitely dinner, because sometimes I'm not up for brunch.
I get it. What's your favorite meal to go to? Your go-to meal right now? If you were like, I want this meal right now, what would the meal be?
I'm trying to eat cleaner. just to get to a very fit place. But linguine and clam sauce, like I started to get obsessed with, especially from my Piero's out in Las Vegas. And I'm looking to have some on my birthday coming up.
Nice. Crab cakes or crabs?
Crab cakes from Nick's Fish House. No, they really are good though.
They are.
Actually, I wouldn't tell you if they weren't good, but if I mentioned that they were good, they were good.
Okay. I'm going to bring you to my hood and take you to Coco's. So we'll
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be so fun. We have to take Mo too.
Definitely, we got come on, everybody come down.
And yours.
Yes, anytime. We'll do it. Coke, okay. Snowballs or ice cream?
That's gonna be like Coke.
I know.
Wrong show, right?
Wrong show.
What are ice cream?
Snowballs or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Come on, Baltimore's a snowball city. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but see, the thing is, I'll order the snowball this much, and I'll say put the marshmallow this much.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so I know you're eating clean. Flats or drums if you had chicken wings?
Drums.
Blue cheese or ranch?
Ranch.
No blue cheese?
I mean, from time to time, but I mean, there's something super comforting about ranch.
I love it. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Oh, it's the question I just answered before.
You did.
Yeah, no. Goodness. My dad's dropped so many gems on me.
Okay.
Stop it, yes, is one of them. Can't fall off the floor. Goodness. Yeses get yeses. No's get no's. All kinds of different things. Some of that is in the third book. But the best advice I've ever gotten. Oh, need to know. This is something that my dad told me when I was little that I never listened to. And he was like, they don't need to know all that. You're not lying if you don't like TMI everything, you know. And I used to be like super open book, and I'm still honest, but it's like there's certain things I don't necessarily feel compelled to illustrate at all times, unless I'm with someone like I trust. I used to trust everyone.
I know more.
Back in the day. I mean, just because like I felt like I'm open about this. Like I feel strength in being vulnerable. So what are they going to do? But now, I definitely see how when you confide in certain people, how they can bring it back later. And again, that doesn't have to hurt, because if you own up to who you are, that's okay if they bring it up later. So what? But sometimes used as ammunition, things can get complicated and tricky. So I definitely agree more with the need to know aspect of preserve some things for yourself. And it may not seem like I actually do that with as much as I at least used to share on Facebook, and as much as I share about my trials and upsides on IG. But I mean, there's a ton that I don't. You know, I may give it to God, or I may talk to my parents about it, or I may talk to close girlfriends, or no one, or mostly Mo. Mo has to deal with most of it.
I love it. Folks.
Mo is my dude, by the way, for those.
Mo's her dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mo. Hey, this has been an amazing episode. I'm telling you, folks, there's going to be a part 2. We're going to be outside, like they say in Baltimore. We outside. Where we can.
I'll be inside.
we'll be chatting. We'll be to have a good conversation. Because I really think a part 2 would be great for this, because there's so much we could cover, and there's so many things I still want to ask that I'm holding off for the part 2.
Oh, thank you so much, Aaron. You're really doing a service to Baltimore.
Me coming from you, that means a lot. That really means a lot, and I know that's from the heart, and that means a lot coming from you, because where I've seen you've done and what you're still doing, you're doing it, you know. And I respect everything you do, and I appreciate what you do for Baltimore and everywhere around the world that you put your hands on and touch and make things look better. And make people
thank you so much. Yeah, we have so much here. That record label I mentioned earlier, Epic Fam, is the one that Easy founded with a partner. And there's a whole host, kind of like my Rock and Soul, there's a whole host of young unsung singer-songwriters coming out of that label. So, I mean, there's so much to come from Baltimore and from all the figures in it. And we're moving on this way. And then there's folks coming up that we need to highlight and not be competitive with, but join with.
Right. Plug your company. Where can we find your company? What can they slide into your DMs? You know how the kids do nowadays. I don't know.
Oh, right. Slide into my DMs.
How can they reach
out?
About
my hall passes now. Right, let's see.
How can they reach out to your company?
Yeah. HeidnSeek Entertainment on the website has just been updated. Needs a few more tweaks, but it's getting there. HeidnSeek.com. That's HNSEEK.com. And on IG is where I communicate the most, I guess. And that's at HeidnSeeks at HeidnSeeks.
Are you on TikTok yet?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Are you TikTok?
I mean, I posted a few things, but I mean, it's just like when you're an exennial, it's kind of like not natural. I mean.
Well, listen, we can't wait. We're excited for what you got coming for Baltimore beyond. We're excited to see what's going to happen in the future. Hopefully, I can hop on one of your shows and do a couple things because again,
you're welcome at anything, anytime.
It'll be a blessing, and like what I would love to do eventually is have you, Zeke, Jason Bass, have a conversation talking about the old times and how things were. And I think that'd be something really cool for the young kids, young people out here. How
absolutely. I think there's so many facets to touch on. There's the politics of it. There's the racial aspects of it. There's just the different concepts that worked then that might not fly now, and imagery, and with the Me Too movement and this, that. I mean, I used to have flyers that were just really extra.
Oh yeah. I mean, they still get the flyers with the extra stuff on it, but again, you're right. Things have changed since the 2000.
Yeah, I mean, you're more mindful now. You don't have to like censor your spirit necessarily, but you're more mindful of, hey, I can get the point across without offending this person.
Right. Well, folks, thank you so much. Love.
Thank you.
And we're out, folks.
Peace.